Welcome to our new video. I'm Markus and this is Ira.
Hi.
You might have watched our previous video about 4 friends doing the 3 peaks challenge. If you haven't, you might want to watch it first. I'll put a link in the description below. If you're thinking of doing the 3 peaks challenge yourself, this video is a must. Well, let's get started. First, I would like to introduce you to 2 other friends who are here with Ira. We have Dagne
Hello.
and Alisa.
Hi.
So my first question to you is, what made you think of doing the 3 peaks challenge? Did anything or anybody influence you?
Well, initially I found out about the challenge that it exists through work. It must have been about 4 or 5 years ago. And ever since, that seed has been planted and it's been slowly starting to grow. So every time we met up with the girls, so used to go out on our kind of little hikes, and we thought actually it's quite accessible. It's in UK. It's definitely a challenge which we always wanted, and then he just took it from there. The hardest thing was actually making that commitment to doing it. So last August we've been on holiday.
Was camping in Devon. And obviously after a couple of drinks
went on our little hike around the park, and that was then we made the commitments, like actually let's do it. And before we came back, we've already signed up and picked the date, and there was no going back. That was it. The decision was made, and that was the best thing ever, to make the decision
right there and then,
and then don't think too much about it. And once we made a decision, well,
that is it.
The training, the reality kind of dawned very quickly.
Absolutely, yeah.
Was it a professionally organized tour or did you plan it all yourself?
Ours was professionally organized.
Yes.
But there are options, you can do it yourself. But for us, I think at the time it was still quite a new idea, and we just didn't have enough time, I guess, to worry about it.
Exactly, we've never really been to the mountains. We're not like professional hikers, or even, just haven't walked so much. So for us, I would say it was better to do it professionally. Somebody is actually having a guides. We actually had 2 guides, didn't we? Who can assist at any time, because one of the mountains in the pitch darkness and the pitch black. So you need somebody to be there for you, just in case.
Yes. So we went for the organized option, which taking that pressure away from ourselves.
Were there any disadvantages going organized?
Do you want to answer that?
I actually don't know any disadvantages apart from advantages, really. Like you said, there was no worries.
Yeah, no worries. The only thing I would say in terms of, it's costly, but also once you're part of the group, you are part of that group, and you are as fast as the slowest member in that group. So if somebody can't make up the mountain, or have some difficulties and you have to stop as a whole group and wait. And that is going against you, because if you're trained yourself and you are well prepared and somebody in your group isn't, then the whole group suffers, and that's kind of the risk you take when you sign up for this.
I mean, if you do it yourself, it's probably cheaper. You don't have to pay for it, so all you need is a coach, a driver, fuel, that's all it is. So you don't really, but you have to plan beforehand, obviously, to all the routes. You need to make sure you know which path you follow, because the mountains are unpredictable. Could be the weather, could be, can be dark, rainy, dangerous, so you don't know which path you're following, so you can get lost. So the advantages are, it's more, you're looked after, you've got help, assistance at any time. There is one guide at the front, the second guide behind, so they're always there for you.
That pressure is off from the timing perspective as well. I mean, it is very pacey and you have to kind of keep within the time limits, but somebody's watching that time for you.
I remember also when I was editing that video, I was actually asking Ira, why didn't you bring more footage? And she said, well, there was no time because the pace was so fast,
It was very
you know,
strenuous.
by the guides, you know, that you didn't really have time to do anything. Is that right? Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely right. I mean, but the pace is fast. There is no kind of two ways about it.
Yeah.
You almost jog, you know.
Yeah,
up the
if you
first
stop to
mountain.
take a picture, don't you, as is it, the group is gone. You have to run to
Yeah.
catch up. Yeah.
I suppose that is the disadvantage, but at the same time, you have to keep that pace up. You have
We
you
wouldn't have made it in 24 hours if we were
No.
going without a guide pushing us all the time. I think.
yeah. So you definitely pushed up, and you struggle at the time, but that's the only way.
Would you do it again, booking an organized challenge?
Well, now we've done it. Personally, I would say we've done it, so we know what to expect.
Yes,
we know what to do,
paths to take, and
and I think I wouldn't go organised again because we had that experience ourselves now.
But
And
at that time, it was
yeah.
4 girls, just
Yeah.
4 of us, females. I just no way we would have done it
I
ourselves.
think for the first timers, they should
First
always
timers
do
definitely,
organised first.
yeah.
I think that security blanket of somebody knowing all the eventualities and somebody else preparing for all the what if scenarios, it gives a bit of comfort.
Unless you can hire a guide, that's another thing. You don't have to go as a professionally organized group, but you can actually just hire a guide, somebody there to lead
Yeah.
you away.
That's-
That's
that would be a better option,
yes,
maybe.
That's
Yeah.
probably would be quite a nice one. Yeah, because if you're not familiar with the mountains, it's quite
Scary. Isn't
scary,
It?
and the weather is unpredictable, and that was the major factor, isn't it? At the end of the day, is the weather. You never know what's going to happen, and you get lost. So I would personally probably hire a guide,
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
not fully, or a male.
Only if
someone
you
who
want it
knows
to
the
be timed.
mountains.
Only if you want it to be timed. If you're doing it for pleasure, then you
Oh,
don't need
if
a
you do it
guide.
for pleasure, yeah.
But for timing,
yeah.
you have to, because you don't know when you reach the top. You know, they know, so they kind of, you know, they
Yeah.
know how long you have to go up and down.
Would you ever consider organizing it yourself and doing it again?
You know what? We've just talked about doing it again. Had you asked me the same question on the day, or even kind of a few days after, I definitely would have said, "No way, I'm doing this again." It was so hard. But now the time has passed and the wound's kind of healed. You feel a bit,
the ones here.
yeah, you feel like actually quite fancy doing it again. And
Oh, definitely. I would. It's the beauty of nature, isn't it? It's just.
yes, yeah. The only thing I wouldn't do again, the 24 hours, we've done it. So there is no need for us to prove it to ourselves again that we can do it. I would probably want to take more time and do it one mountain a day and enjoy it, exactly.
Enjoy, because the beauty is
Yeah.
you want to cry. That's how beautiful it
Yeah.
is there. It is just stunning views
And
that
plus,
you
we
do
haven't
not
seen
expect.
Scafell Pike in a day. That would be
Yeah.
great,
Exactly.
you know, great thing to.
It was
Yeah.
too dark.
Yeah, and have the time to take those photos that we kind of missed and rushed and didn't have time to record those moments.
A little reminder, if you like this video, please consider liking it and subscribe to our channel. How fit do you think one needs to be to do the challenge?
It's a good question. I mean, we didn't really know ourselves how prepared or how much time we would need to prepare.
But definitely would recommend to walk as much as you can, maybe once or twice a week, to go for a walk from 4 to 6 hours, just literally to get yourself out there in the mountains. Or we did the Purbeck. Every Saturday we went.
So what kind of training do you do before the
Definitely
challenge?
did a hike once a week, 5-6
Yeah.
hour hike once a week.
And how long were they? So, I mean, 5-6 hours. So
So they were
it's like 20.
It was about 20 miles.
20
yeah.
miles.
But it had to be healing, you know.
Was
so
it
they
the longest hour, 20 miles, isn't it?
I think it's really important to do that elevation, you know, and know how you feel coming down the mountain, because that is just as hard as going up. Again, that's something I didn't really realize till the time we actually did it. I thought, you know, going up is going to be hard and strenuous, but coming down, come on, it's easy. It's so much pressure impact on your knees that you really feel it, and your hips. So the training is definitely needed. You can't. I don't think anybody could just wake up one morning and say, "I'm going to do it tomorrow."
No, not to underestimate it, definitely.
So you
It
did
is
it
still a
once a week?
challenge.
For
Yeah,
6
what do
weeks.
for 6 weeks.
For 6
Yeah,
weeks,
So
we-
from the
yeah.
moment you
Every
decided
Saturday, yes, we
you
went.
want to do it. Yeah.
But they do ask you, once we filled out our questionnaire for the three
They
peaks,
ask
they
for
ask
you.
how your fitness level. So I guess, if you are
What did
not,
you say?
well,
The truth.
no, yeah, but then you don't want to
Never lie.
never want to be put in a slow group. You kind of think like, yeah, I can do it, so I want to do it with the fit people.
Fit people, yeah.
Yeah. Don't want to be somewhere, in the back of the crowd.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think the training is definitely needed.
Oh, definitely. We started a bit doing morning exercise,
Yeah.
a bit of, I would say half an hour or so a day. Started any kind of exercise, I think. But
Just
it's
regular
important.
cycling. You did cycling
Yeah.
regularly as well.
But just think how
Walking. I would say this is
Walking
the
is
main thing, is actually start walking. And that
Yeah.
long kind of walk
Yeah.
as well. So to see how long you'll last until your hips and legs, everything starts aching, just to kind of,
yeah.
I don't know, how your body reacts to these prolonged walks. And it definitely help. If we didn't do that,
Oh,
this
no.
is
Do you
definitely-
remember how we felt after our first training hike? We were literally broken. I could not move. We couldn't get out of the
Hips,
car.
legs,
We were so
calves, yeah.
aching. And that kind of, if that was on the actual mountain, if you felt like that on that day, then it would be impossible to complete. So, but because we've done that over 6 weeks, our body kind of
You
got
get
used
used
to
to it, definitely, yeah. And it's very important to wear the same, your shoes as well.
Yeah.
Everything we wanted to try on all our equipment. Hiking trousers, shoes, so it's important to walk in them as much as you can before you go.
Which of the three peaks would you think was the easiest and which one was the hardest for you personally?
Which one was it
Interesting
for you?
question. For me, probably the easiest was Ben Nevis. Although it was the longest, the highest, but it was the first mountain, so it's kind of went very fast. The hardest, surprisingly, probably was Snowdon, because it was the last one, and I didn't have a good sleep and kind of wanted to finish. And while we were in Snowdon, I every time I think, oh, we're nearly there, oh, we're already there, kind of wishful thinking when we're going up the peak, the summit. Scafell Pike, it's probably the steepest and the most relentless one. It's the hardest one of all, but I personally enjoyed it the most, maybe because it's the shortest. And if you have a good speed, just quickly go up, it's done. It's very fast, it's very quick, yeah.
And for you, Dagmar?
I would agree with the first one, being Ben Nevis is the easiest because you're fresh, your legs are still good, and you're full of energy and excitement, so you kind of fly up there almost. The hardest for me was definitely Scafell Pike. I remember how,
We could see that in the
oh
video.
my God, I literally did not enjoy it. It was so hard. It was middle of the night, and the elevation is gained it so quickly that it just almost killed me. I literally could not keep up.
Very steep.
All I could see people in the distance kind of drifting off, and me kind of drifting back, and it just seemed like, how much further? The whole time I was asking myself that question, how much further? Are we
nearly there? Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
same with me.
Are we there yet?
Yeah,
Over there, yes.
so many times.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then coming down was actually quite hard as well on that one.
Coming down,
Yeah.
that was actually quite difficult.
And we were so tired. It was our second mountain. We
And
just
it's
not
pitch
slept.
black.
Yeah,
So dark, you can't see anything. It's just so dark.
yeah. And yeah, Snowdon was kind of not easy, but because we were all exhausted, but it was very manageable. It wasn't that relentless for me personally.
Elisa?
Well, I agree with both of you on Ben Nevis. I think Ben Nevis, because it's the first, you're full of energy. You know, it's like you going up and it's easy, it's done, you're excited, and
Absolutely, yeah.
Then I agree with you. For the Scafell Pike was the hardest for me.
Yeah.
Elevation was quickly gained, but quickly meaning like it's not 5 minutes, it's like 45 minutes roughly
Yeah.
of just going up non-stop. So even though it's quickly, still a long time of constantly going up. So yeah, going down I find it quite easy. Maybe because I was glad it's all over.
Flying down.
Prancing down. And Snowdon I enjoyed the views, and I think
It's
just
gorgeous.
took me by, I just loved looking all around, and it just quickly done and over. Yeah. And because it's the last one, you're kind of thinking, that's it, we've done it.
Done, yeah. The
Yeah.
feeling of it's over.
Yeah.
What was the weather like on each mountain?
Oh, we're very lucky. We were very, very lucky, generally speaking.
With
yeah,
the
for
training
October.
and the actual challenge, the weather
Yeah.
was brilliant
Yes.
all the way.
October, we could have had any kind
Yeah.
of. But it was very nice, actually. Not very nice, but it was better than we would have expected.
Well, we didn't have rain, so for Snowdon, we started off, it was sunny and quite beautiful and warm. The weather changed about 3-4 times on the way out,
oh,
didn't
Ben
it?
Nevis as well.
Ben
yeah.
Nevis, yes, it had snow at the top, which was nice to see. But again, to your point, we were very lucky. Had we done that trip a day earlier, we wouldn't have been able to summit, and that's just because of the weather.
The weather, yeah.
Scafell Pike was just a bit kind of rainy, wasn't it? Misty.
It was
foggy.
wet and just
Yeah, fog. But yeah, all of them, Snowdon was beautiful as well, and the weather-wise was good. So we were lucky.
We were very lucky. Yeah.
But you
That's
can
just
never guarantee the weather, that's the thing.
Yeah.
What time of the year do you think is the best for the challenge?
Broadly speaking, I would say spring, just because the chances of good weather, say May time, are the highest.
Yeah.
But again, we've heard from other people, and you can never guarantee. And even in May or June time, you could still be caught out by really kind of stormy weather and won't be able
It
to summit.
stays light longer.
That's a good point.
nice as well. I would say, what would you say? Maybe June? Although it's very busy in June.
It's very busy, yeah. But I would like to try it in the summer and see what it's all about, how warm it is up there. Or
Having more daylight is a big factor.
Exactly. Daylight is definitely, but there will be still snow in Ben Nevis. That's what
Yeah.
they say. There's still. That's the thing. The weather changes. Probably Ben Nevis is 3 times the weather changed.
Yeah.
The same Snowdon. It's just, I think, regardless which kind of season you go, it's still be, you have to expect unexpected. But if we had to do it again, what
I would
time
say June.
June, me too.
Just because it's kind of less risky in terms of weather. It's still unpredictable and you can't guarantee it, but it's more chance that it will stay good.
I would probably so. I would agree.
Yeah.
June.
And more daylight, the most daylight you can have.
Were there any paths all the way up the 3 peaks? I mean, can one get lost if they go unorganized?
There are paths, definitely. Ben Nevis,
But all the way up, or can you get lost?
You can.
you can, especially
get
if the
lost,
weather
yeah.
conditions are. They're not precise path. Yeah, Ben Nevis, for example, does have a path.
The main one, yes, but then once you get to the peak, it's not as obvious.
It's obvious. It's just so many people. That's why you
as
can.
well. You can't see the path. If you see people in front of you, then you can kind of follow.
But that's one of the reasons actually was quite, that's why we took guides. And, because
You easily can
Ben
get lost.
Nevis has actually got quite a few drops, and just knowing that, and you think like, well, what if we take the wrong turn?
You
and
can actually
people have actually died, so
then.
it's a dangerous mountain.
Yeah.
But
So those-
Scafell Pike doesn't have paths.
Scafell Pike, that's the only
doesn't
one.
have
Yeah,
that.
there's
Yeah.
no. That you can go elsewhere
You can just
easily
do-
in the
yeah.
dark.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
just a
not-
pile of rocks.
Snowdon has a path.
No, no,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
Snowdon's
remember
fine.
the path. No, we were kind of
It's all
climbing.
signposted though, wasn't it?
Yeah, Snowdon,
Yeah.
I think the easiest one to follow. But Ben Nevis and Scafell Pike, yeah, you have to know the routes. You have to know the paths.
Did you expect so much snow on top of Ben Nevis?
I didn't know what to expect. We were nicely surprised. The sea snow was quite actually nice.
But loads of snow. Yeah, it started gradually build, didn't it?
But we had enough of it quite quickly as well.
Yeah.
As we were going down, I was like, had enough of this snow now.
Couldn't feel your fingers. And
It's cold.
Just
It's definitely cold, and layers is another thing you have to really think about
Yes.
what you wear.
You had to climb Scafell Pike at night. How did it feel walking in complete darkness?
you definitely need a very good torch. Make sure you have a very bright, good quality torch. Wouldn't you agree?
Definitely.
Because that's actually what let you down a little
Yeah.
bit, yeah?
mine wasn't powerful enough at all, but the climbing in the night is hard because you can't really see ahead of yourself as to what to expect. You don't know what's coming around a corner, and that makes it harder, not knowing where is the end. You just keep going and you keep going, and you kind of wish it was closer and still not there. And
One step at a time.
yeah, and also you're tired at that point. You know, normally you would be, you know, curled up in a warm bed, but you're in the cold, in the dark, hiking up this really steep.
It's very
mountain.
steep, very relentless
It
mountain.
was hard. It's no two ways about it. Definitely difficult.
Did you feel safe during the challenge? I mean, is there any mobile signal on the mountains?
Personally, I didn't feel unsafe because we were with a group. What you may feel kind of unsafe is due kind of to personal injury. That nobody's protected from that.
Exactly, that's what on Scafell Pike. I personally felt a little bit unsafe. Not unsafe, but in a way you had to watch your every step, because if you step on one of the, because there are big rocks there, if you step on one of the rocks, you can maybe, I don't know, it's not very stable, you can twist your ankle or, you know, have a little minor. So you have to be careful. Otherwise, we would not feel unsafe. Yeah, because you have guys, you have assistants.
They've always got their radios, even if you have no mobile signal, which we didn't have. They were talking on their walkie-talkie, so that we knew we were in safe hands. But having said that, it's still very easy to injure yourself at the night. You know, in wet conditions, it was quite slippery, wasn't it?
Would you recommend taking walking sticks with you?
Definitely.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. For me, it was a necessity. It does take about 20% of your weight, of your legs. So again, no, I've had a sore knees for ages now. So in training and on the mountains, I could not have done it without poles. That is absolutely a must, in my opinion.
For Lisa and I, we purchased them like literally 2 or 3 days before
that's right,
actually our
We
travel.
didn't test them out before.
No, they were brand
Yeah.
new, but oh my God, it does make a difference, definitely. It takes pressure off your hips, of your knees, and
Especially
you're
when you're
fully
going down, I think.
going down, and even in the snow, in Ben Nevis, you can kind of...
That stability is there,
Oh,
isn't
that
it?
stability, definitely. Yeah, would
When
highly
you're coming
recommend.
down, it's nothing to hold on to, and it is very steep. So again, putting your poles out, it kind of gives you that safety net.
Absolutely.
How much water would you say you need to take on each mountain? I remember in the video seeing Evelina like drinking all the time. And what was she drinking from? It was like something from a straw? Was it like a water bag and a rucksack or something?
2 to 3 liters, probably,
Yeah.
per mountain. 2
We've all
liters.
had a hydration bladder, so we took two liters with us each time on each mountain. And yes, that what you saw in the video, Evelina drinking, so it's like hydration tube from our bladder, so it's easily accessible. You don't have to reach out for your bottle, it's there for you, and it's good to be drinking it continuously rather than in one go. So, you know, eat and drink on a go is definitely
And it's a
recommended.
definitely good investment. No water bottles. Hydration bladder is the way to go.
What kind of snacks did you take with you on the mountains? And what did you eat in between the climbs? Were you fed by the organizers?
We had snack bars, chocolate bars, nuts, raisins, like protein bars, a good thing to have, I think. And you eat a little bit at a time. You just like, what, every half an hour?
Every half an hour. I would say you have to take something in every half an hour. And again, it's just good to maintain those energy levels and eat something that is low kind of slow energy release. So again, oat bars is perfect.
Oh yeah, protein. We had protein bar, oats bar.
We did have a couple of gel sachets as well.
Yeah, energy
I don't think they
gels.
helped, but we did.
And how often were you eating them?
I would say at least half an hour.
Every
So
half an
something
hour, definitely something. It's
on the go, and you
On
don't
the go.
stop
little
for
but
that.
often.
And were you fed by the organizers?
We had porridge.
We had porridge in the morning, which is
Yeah.
quite good. It does keep you full.
We had coffee and cake
That's
after
right,
Ben
yeah.
Nevis. Yes. And we also stopped for a couple of breaks, and we had hot noodles.
That was
Past
not on the
the
mountain. I was actually
Alright,
on
yes,
road. Yeah.
On road, yeah.
I mean, you had obviously loads of wrappers of the chocolate bars or so. What did you do with them? I mean, were there any bins on the mountain?
There are no bins on the mountains.
But we put them back in our rucksack.
You have to take everything with you.
Would you recommend wearing ankle boots or special hiking shoes, or can you do the challenge in
You can
trainers?
go barefoot if you wish.
You can, but it's not safe.
For
Again,
organised event, you have to wear ankle boots. Otherwise, they wouldn't let you proceed.
Yeah.
Was it necessary, really?
I would say so. Again, knowing how uneven the terrain is, ankle boot gives you a bit more support around your ankle.
Support, yeah.
So it is really, really important. And again, it's worth that extra investment just to make sure you don't have any injury on a mountain.
Although you do see people wearing all sorts of shoes, you know, you don't have to, but definitely if you want to be safe and feel good, yeah,
Well,
definitely.
if not ankle boots, then walking shoes
Yeah.
with a little bit of grip.
Comfortable shoes, your feet, yeah, and definitely to wear them several times before actually.
What should one wear in the mountains? I mean, what type of clothes did you take?
Don't underestimate the value of layers. Layers, yeah, they're the key.
Waterproof. Definitely has to be waterproof because again, you never know what kind of weather you're going to encounter. And as Yera said, layers are really important because as you start walking, you heat up so quickly, so you just take layers off. But as you go up, it gets colder, you put them back on again. So it's really, really recommended to have more than one. And again, because you are layering them up, then you keep warmer because the air between your clothes is kind of keeping your body temperature, preserving your body temperature really.
But you previously mentioned that the pace was so fast you didn't really have time for anything. So did you actually have time to get changed?
On the go.
Either on the go or you do stop for a second, just
Yeah.
literally get changed and
So the guide actually stops himself and he takes his layers or puts them
or
back
put
on
the
again.
hats on or
Yeah.
gloves as you go up the mountain.
It's literally no more than a couple of minutes. You stop, change, and you're off again.
Yeah, do not take leather gloves. Leather gloves are not warm.
What type of backpacks, socks, shoes, glass trousers did you go for?
Leather gloves are not warm enough. I was really cold. I took leather gloves with me and I struggled. At the top of Ben Nevis, I was really cold.
Okay.
Waterproofs, waterproof trousers,
Yeah.
waterproof jacket are essential.
And
Hat,
special
gloves.
socks? Any special socks or something?
Socks. I would
Hiking.
recommend, hiking socks.
Hiking
Try,
socks.
find your
They
own.
would be kind of more cushioned socks. So again, it's better for your foot. And in terms of layers, it's just the base layers.
Thermal
They're
layer.
they're
Thermal, yeah.
thin, they're breathable.
Mid layer could be just a fleece or something. They're light, very light, dry
Yeah.
fast, and the waterproof definitely.
And flexible trousers.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you get any blisters?
We didn't actually.
No,
No
because
blisters at all? None?
No, but they do recommend to put Vaseline in between your toes, not to get any blisters.
Oh, okay. Between the toes?
Between the toes, yes.
Uh-huh.
Just smother it in Vaseline.
Interesting.
And it's worth having extra pair of socks just in case you get really hot and sweaty and you need to change your socks.
I would, sorry, can I just,
Yeah.
I would definitely recommend to take spare trousers, spare layers, spare socks. It's
Yeah.
just, we were lucky with the weather, but imagine if it was really raining and it's
Yeah.
very, you get soaking wet. Yeah, I would definitely recommend even maybe spare boots if you have one. Spare.
Were there loads of people on the mountains in October? Which mountain was the busiest?
Ben Nevis was very busy, don't
Ben
you
Nevis
think?
was very
Was.
busy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was busy.
Even in October, I thought
Yeah.
it was quite busy.
And there were families with children.
Yeah, children,
Really
dogs,
young.
Yeah.
really small children.
Snowdon was the quietest one because it was at night.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe there were
Snowdon.
people.
Not Snowdon, sorry.
Scafell
Pike. Scafell Pike, yeah.
Yeah. but
Or
we
you
did
could see little
yeah.
lights there, but people, yeah.
But we met two groups,
Yes.
separate groups.
Yeah. So there were still other organised groups on the same at the same time. But yeah, I was surprised how busy Ben Nevis was.
But you imagine in June.
Yeah.
Or it
Probably.
probably, I don't know, now maybe it's not the perfect time, it's probably so busy in the summer.
Did you say at the top of Snowdon you have to stand in a queue to take pictures at them? You know, at the,
Yes,
right at the top.
yeah.
This is not really.
So we didn't have those queues. That was a
No,
bit
no,
so
it was
wasn't
busy, but no, not crowded.
Yeah.
But I thought it would be hardly any people there this
Yeah.
time of the year
Mm-hmm.
in October. But we still, yeah.
What was the highlight of your adventure?
Well, I suppose for me it's just completing it and actually doing it and thinking we've done it and just kind of having that kind of stamp of approval, seal of approval. Yes, you've done it.
The sense of achievement.
Yeah, that was, you know, the closure to that, you know, really difficult 24
No,
hours.
absolutely, yeah. Alisa, what would you say your highlight was?
I don't know. It's just like when people have told me that they've done it, I thought to myself like, wow, you know, well done to you. And here I am. I've done it now, and it just makes me feel good that we,
Yeah.
you know, we did it. Something not ordinary.
Definitely. I
Yeah.
think that sense of achievement to me was just like
Mhm.
it's a good feeling.
I don't know. I also, once we've done Ben Nevis, I felt, I don't know, I had so much energy. I could have run that Ben Nevis again. I was so ecstatic. I was just, so I've just done Ben Nevis. I've just actually done Ben Nevis. I don't know. It just, the energy was bursting. Scafell Pike as well. I don't know what it was, like a second wind. And Snowdon was just so picturesque. That's another highlight. It's you have to enjoy the beauty of nature, of where you are. It's the lakes, it's Snowdon, it's gorgeous. So my highlights probably, yeah, the beauty of nature in Snowdon. I think it's very pretty. And after Ben Nevis, I felt just kind of wow, kind of like on drugs. So happy, absolutely buzzing.
Each summit was quite spectacular.
Yeah,
and taking those
it's,
pictures at the top was
So
like,
different,
wow, yeah.
isn't it? But
So massive tick each time. You know? We've been
it's a
here,
lovely
done
sense
it.
of achievement. It does give you this great feeling when once you have it done. Definitely.
Would you do it again? If yes, what would you do differently?
Oh. You see, again, I wouldn't necessarily do it in 24 hours. We've done it once, so personally, I don't think I need to prove it to myself again that 24 hours is achievable. I would want to do it individual mountains, one per day, and actually enjoy it and take that scenery in and not kind of rush it. So that's what I would do differently. But then that wouldn't be 24 hours, that wouldn't be the same challenge.
And they will come with you when you're doing that once a day.
That-
One mountain a day.
Yeah. Otherwise, everything we've had everything. We've not like we missed. You know, we weren't prepared. Everything else worked. Maybe kind of having your own group that you can actually fill the whole minibus would have been better.
Yeah.
And what was the least enjoyable moment of the challenge?
Traveling in a minibus is never fun, especially when you have
Yeah.
to sleep in it.
Sleeping.
That's not enjoyable. You don't have the room to stretch out and have a good rest between mountains.
Well, I would
didn't mind it.
definitely,
No?
yeah. I miss sleeping as well.
I had
Definitely
a good
recommend
Earplugs. is the best thing,
yeah,
I think.
earplugs,
Did you have them?
Nope.
No.
eye masks, blanket,
Yes.
pillow, head pillow, something to make you comfortable. Maybe even like slippers or something, because you take your boots off. So make you as comfortable as you can, because you do need sleep. Nice sleep is essential. So yeah, definitely. I would probably lack of sleep for me as well. But otherwise, I regret not taking power bank with me, because my phone was going off charge. So I would highly recommend. In my case, if you want to take pictures, something or quick video, power bank, a little power bank, to have it with you.
Stop starting is never kind of fun, you know, having traveled for say 4, 5, 6 hours and having to get out again and, you know, get ready again. That's hard. You kind of have to push through
And
it.
it's still
but-
windy and still wet a little bit. It's not raining, but it's not pleasant.
That's part of it, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a challenge.
exactly. Yeah.
Which mountain is the most beautiful one in your opinion?
Well, we haven't actually seen Scafell Pike, so can't really
Can't
comment
really
on that. That
comment,
was
yeah.
pitch black. I think Snowdon
Snowdon probably as
Yeah.
well, yeah. Ben Nevis is gorgeous when you walk
Yeah.
down.
Mhm.
It is
It's
gorgeous.
breathtaking views, yeah.
But Snowdon, I think we had more kind of moments where we kind of stood there and just thinking, wow.
like, wow. Yeah, it is wow.
There's quite a few lakes in Snowdon
Yeah.
as well. And
Yeah.
yeah. And we caught the sunrise because of that.
That's
you know.
it, yes.
That was just
Yeah.
beautiful.
Did you raise any money for charity? I mean, did you do any fundraising?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
We did. Dorset Mind, wasn't it, our charity?
Yeah.
So mental health, and again, especially in this time, when in pandemic and lockdown, a lot of people suffer with mental health. So we've decided to raise money for that.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, it was quite overwhelming knowing how many people supported us.
Yeah, and it was
sponsored.
last minute decision actually.
Yeah.
It was like 5 days before, or was it a week before we decided?
Yeah,
To
it
And
was.
it's coincidental that it was the
Oh, yes.
World Mental Health Day on the day that we were doing the challenge.
How much did you raise?
We raised £830.
Okay.
Yeah.
So given that it's
But
only
then-
been a week or so to
yes,
raise
exactly. Less than a week, I think. Yeah.
Who was that guy in the diving suit we saw in the video hiking up the mountain?
it. Ooh.
Alisa?
Well, I actually don't know his name, but we did see him on TV just 2 days before we went to Scotland, and he was doing Scafell Pike. And he was raising money for charity. And
Yeah.
his diving suit was weighing 9 stones, I think, which is, I don't know, in kilos.
60
And,
kilos or something?
Yeah, and it took him a day to go up a mountain and a day to come down. And I think overall he raised £30,000.
I don't know, but all I know that is raised money
Yeah.
for charity, and
Yeah.
a lot more than what Wood did.
But I've heard about him that he's had a life-threatening condition, like I can't remember what it was, and he was given a few months to live, and miraculously he just survived and started doing charity work, and over a lifetime he raised £5 million.
Wow.
That's what I've heard, doing various charities.
Yeah, but given he's carried so much weight up, I'm not surprised it's taking him a day to go up and a day to come down. Of course, he had a lot of crew to support him, but still, it's quite an achievement,
I think Ben Nevis was his last mountain.
was it?
Was it? Oh.
How much did it cost you in total per person?
To buy everything from scratch.
Yeah.
More trousers, boots, because we're not really hikers, we haven't had any.
So how much did that cost, roughly what you actually spent on clothes and equipment?
I think we tried to work it out the other day,
Yes,
didn't we?
we did.
I think it's not far off £1,000
That's for the clothes or for everything?
for everything.
I think it was 700, yeah?
Yes.
But we kind of calculated
Counted, yeah?
700 for what?
for everything more.
But you said 1,000.
Yeah, 350 just the actual trip. Then a
And
night accommodation, then a flight, then all the equipment. I think we kind of added it all up to be close to kind of £1,000, but
Per
we
person.
have to recalculate properly. I
Yeah,
think.
when
but,
you can, yeah.
But to your point, we had to buy absolutely everything. We didn't have any hiking boots, we didn't have the trousers, the poles, all that equipment. Now to do it again, it wouldn't be as expensive, but
That's
to do it first time when you want
investment is done.
exactly. So that's the most expensive part, is getting all your gear together. Once we have it all, then yeah, next time it will be much less.
So am I right to say we can break it up in about £350 for the
For the
trip?
trip.
Yep.
And then so roughly £650 for all the equipment. So
Not
if
just
somebody
equipment,
already
the
has...
flights, the hotels, because we
So 350 was...
It's just for the organisation.
Okay.
Yeah, so 350 was for the minibus, for the guides, and being part of that organised group. But the accommodation before,
because
and
we
obviously-
added one extra day of we spent a day in Glasgow.
but
It's
yeah,
not, yeah. So
you might be able to squeeze it into 800 if you kind of didn't do as much as what we did. But yeah, the equipment, again, it depends what you buy. You know, you might buy very expensive, raincoat or rain jacket, or kind of more accessible one. So, but you need to have good good quality, and you need to have everything really.
And last but not least, what is next? What's your next challenge?
Well, as we've already mentioned, I think it would be
Everest?
really nice. Well, one day, of course. But it would be really nice to actually see those 3 peaks in our own time and do them and enjoy the scenery. And so maybe doing them one per day would be kind of the next thing. Take our husbands with us this time, have a bit of a moral support, and actually make a little kind of holiday from it.
Yeah, or 4-peak challenge. There is one additional mountain in Ireland.
But that's
Okay.
over 48 hours, I think.
Yeah, so
And the
maybe.
Yorkshire 3 peak.
Another
Don't forget,
one, yes, Yorkshire 3-peak challenge. we want to
So
do.
no concrete plans made yet, but we have plenty of ideas as to
Oh,
what
yeah.
we would like to do next.
Yeah.
Again,
No
hiking.
stopping us now. It's become actually, I think, our hobby and
Yeah.
our something we enjoy doing.
I think hiking, everybody can do it. It's not like it's
Yeah.
kind of you would be limited. You know, it's doable. So that's another reason why we should be able to do more.
Okay, well, ladies, then it's just for me to say thank you. Thank you for your honesty, for letting us take part in it, sharing your experience with us, and well, all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that was it. Thank you for watching, and I hope we could help you a little bit in your endeavor of doing the 3 Peaks Challenge. Well, see you next time. Bye for now.